Hey guys, Mike here. Today is the last day of the REI bike sale. When I first did my video, I did it before they even added some really cool things to it. Now's the time. If you've been waiting to go outside, to jump on your old bike, or to get a new bike, now's a great time to do it. Why? Because REI does not have a lot of bike sales in the past. Usually when they have any sales, it really excludes bikes. This time, you can score some pretty decent deals on some pretty decent bikes. Please use my link down below. Let's get started. Let's talk about some of these deals here. First off, I would like to point out my bike helmet. And actually, you know what? I'll just show a clip of the bike helmet. So there's some really great bike helmet deals going on right now. Number one, there is the 1000 Heritage bike helmet. It looks really minimalistic and cool as a bike helmet, particularly for e-bikes. But if you like the look and the style, I think it's something that is great, especially when you find out that it is completely free if you purchase one of the REI Co-op City bikes. So before I jump out of this page though, another one I want to highlight, and the one that I personally use a lot, is going to be the Nutcase. And as you can see, there are a lot of bike helmets that are on sale. I have not tried a lot of them. There are some really nice ones that are very expensive. And I did point out one that was the Smith. There's a full face helmet one that is by Smith. It's called the Mainline. And I use that when I'm riding my e-scooter or if I'm just looking to bomb hills. It's right. Excuse me. If I'm looking to bomb hills, like I did on my bike ride from San Francisco downwards towards LA, this is the one that I should have used. This is not the one that I did use at the time because I didn't have it. And this one brings it down to $172 with the special 25% off on select items. Now, you do have to be an REI member to take advantage of this particular coupon code, I believe. And it's totally worth it. REI is still, in my book, number one or number two in terms of sporting gear equipment, as far as just getting out there, getting some of the best equipment and full satisfaction guarantee. But the one that I recommend that you look at, and this one is, I paid $150 for it last year for my ride. Oh no, it's out of stock. Oh, no, it's right here. My bad. It's right here. This Nutcase VO MIPS bike helmet. I get compliments everywhere that I ride this at night. Why? Because it has full 360 degree lighting around. So from the side, you got high visibility. From the back, you got high visibility. And in the front, you also have visibility as well. It's not bright enough to replace your, let's say, like a regular headlamp. This is purely for visibility. And for that, it does a great job. And it's MIPS. So it comes in small, medium, large, extra large. I just got this one for my wife. We don't really ride much out at night, but sometimes we do. And I think this is just going to make it a lot safer for people to be able to see her. So you check that out right there. And they didn't have any hot pink available in stock, so I picked I feel like one of the next best colors that's still available in small, medium size, and that's this nice blue. One of my favorite colors is blue. All right, so that is the one that I want to point out. That's one that I personally use and highly recommend, particularly for just around city riding. It's not one of those super lightweight, super fast helmets that cost a lot of money. This one used to cost $150. Again, I paid full price for mine just last year. And at $75, I think it's a really good deal. All right, so those are helmets. But I want to go point out that if there's a promo right now, if you get one of these select bikes, there's one on a very infamous group page where they recommend that you get, which would maximize your savings. And that is the City, I believe the City 1.1. Yeah, City 1.1. So there's a Step Thru. They have a regular one as well, but Step Thru is perfectly fine. They had a special offer where you get a free 1000 Heritage helmet with this bike. Basically, you just got to add both to your cart and check out. And the price of the 1000 Heritage helmet, which is the one that we just looked at right here. And they still have, oh no, they sold out of the different, okay, they still have gold and black and navy available in medium. But for large head, you only have two colors left, and I have really large head. So this one could do. But basically, it's a $69 helmet. I think it was $100 when it wasn't on sale, but now it's on clearance at $68.93. So if you get this bike, you also get the helmet free, $70. And this is a good general city use bike. It doesn't have high-end components, but most people don't. And for the price, it really can't be beat. $450 plus a $70 helmet. And you get a whole full year free adjustments from REI. They assemble everything for you. These are lower end components, which is what you would find in a bike of this price range. But it does have 24 gears, so you'll be able to handle city riding, some hills. You're going to be no problem at all. But if you're going to be tackling a lot of really steep hills and you really don't have legs and power for it, the one that I recommend, and of course it's going to cost quite a lot more, and still a pretty good deal, is the City E2.2 electric bike. Now, I have had a chance to test ride this bike along with my brother Jim, and we just rode it around the parking lot just to see what it was like. And let me tell you, the torque sensor on these and for the mid-drive makes it feel like you are riding a regular bike. And that's exactly what you want. I believe there's no throttle on here at all. You pedal, and it magnifies your effort. It just makes it feel like you are a super cyclist. Suddenly, the hills just flatten out. And the riding position on this is really good. It's got a really good Bosch motor. Is it a Bosch? Shimano. My bad, I get these things mixed up. Shimano E6100 motor with 250 watts. And that's going to give you a max torque output of 60 newton meters. Now, having ridden, the main e-bike that I have right now is the Aventon Adventure. It's a fantastic bike. It is a fat tire bike though, and it does not have a torque sensor, and it has a 1000 watt peaks. Having ridden both, this feels a lot more natural, and it feels like I definitely have enough power in the city riding, particularly because this is not a fat tire bike, so there's very little rolling resistance, and this will zip and zoom around just perfectly fine, and even at a more nimble pace than I can with my 1000 watt motor. And it's because the one that I have is not a torque sensor, of course, and my bike is definitely a lot heavier. This feels a lot more like a city bike, whereas my Aventon Adventure feels a little bit more like an off-road bike that just happens to be electric. So 250 watts seems to be enough. Now, my problem with this bike is that there are not enough people talking about it. And I don't know why. This is actually on a clearance price. Now, keep in mind that this price has been actually, I think it was $21.99.93 lately. It only dropped like $40 recently, but they're clearing them out for some reason. And maybe they're just going to introduce something a little bit newer. There's only 2 sizes available now, which is small and medium, and obviously only one color available. You might be able to find a little bit more choices in colors and sizes at your local REI. But I'll tell you what though, this deal where you get a free 1000-inch helmet with this bike might not be around after today. So if you want to wait on, check this out. You don't have time to go to REI, or you're not willing to just add to the cart and just try it out at the store. By the way, REI, if you didn't know, has a very liberal return policy. That's one of the great things about them, is that it's just full satisfaction guarantee on most things. There's no restocking fee on most items, okay? And e-bikes are probably one of them. Let me double check that though. I should double check this just to make sure, because sometimes these things do get updated. And let's see, REI e-bike return policy, because let's face it, some people abuse the return policy and then they have to change things up. It used to be lifetime, right? So all eligible items includes e-bikes. So that includes for 365 days. You can have the e-bike for 365 days. Where else are you going to get a decent return policy like that? Okay, as long as you are an REI co-op member, just be a member. Just be a member, you're good. Used gears online. Resupply used gears is 30 days. That's interesting. Now, if you see them in person at the used gear store in the local REI, it is fine to sell. They do mention this every time. But 1 year policy. These things used to be lifetime. Now it's 1 year. Okay, so I do recommend that you check this out if you want to get an e-bike. Now, there's another e-bike that is on sale. It's the City Generation E 1.1. I think they were trying to go for a little bit more hipper crowd for some reason. And I only got that feeling because of the colors and the funky geometry. And it's a good price. It's not as powerful, and it does not have a torque sensor, but it's going to do fine going up the hills. These are what you call hub motors. They're not the mid gear. And for these, the motor is basically right here, whereas the previous one, the 2.2, is a hub motor that's right here. And the hub motor definitely feels a lot more natural than, sorry, not the hub motor. The mid-drive motor feels a lot more. The mid-drive, which would be right here on the City 2.2, feels a lot more natural to me than the hub motor back over here, whereas this feels more like a motorized bicycle, whereas the other one just feels like a motorcycle with that you have super leg power, and that just smooths out the hills. This one, I believe, also has the full straight-on throttle, capability on here. Let's double check that here. But it's only 350 watts. Okay, that's not the same. The feeling is not the same, but the torque is 80 Newton meters. The reason why the mid-drive feels a lot more powerful than it is because there's some gearing in there that you could take advantage of as you're riding. Whereas for this, the gearing for this is inside the motor, right, on top of this thing. So it's basically two systems trying to synergize together. It does not synergize as well as the City 2.2. So this is going to feel a little bit more like a motorized bicycle, whereas the other one just feels like a bicycle where you just suddenly have much stronger legs to move around. This is also significantly cheaper. It's got front racks, which is very useful, and rear racks. I think this would be fine for city riding as well, but it's going to have a bit more off-road capability because of the fat tireness of this. Let's see, I think it's, how wide are these wheels? Now this one I did not test ride. Tire width is 2.4 inches. All right, so I wouldn't be riding this necessarily out on beach sand or anything like that, and it weighs 54 pounds. So it's not too bad, but realize the wheels are a little bit smaller, and there is no rear suspension. There is a front suspension for the 1.1 here though. Strangely enough, not for the 1.2. Yeah, that catches me a little bit off guard. So the 1.2 has, I believe, a more powerful electric motor, 350 watts. 1.1 has less, but it has a front shock absorber. And you can always change these. Now this also has 350. 417 watt hours. I think one of the differences is the battery. Okay, so the battery capacity on this one's just quite a bit higher, and that accounts for the different prices. The componentry, of course, is entry level on that, as opposed to the City 2.2. City 2.2, I believe, has higher level componentry. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, these are slightly higher, just a little bit higher. So the range is, pedal assist range is 50 miles, and you can replace the battery. The batteries, I believe when I asked them, was roughly around $500, which is pretty standard for a 500 watt hour battery pack, and you can get them from various places. If you want to get them from REI though, they have to be a special order item, is what I recall. So it looks a little bit more integrated. It's a decent looking bike. I just know that it rides really well. Definitely recommend it. Okay, skipping forward on the bike stuff, I did get some tools. Basically, I got the Crank Brothers M20. If you shop the sale, you can just filter it out under tools, and you can see, under bike accessories actually, or bike parts. This I'm looking to get is 30% off right now. That's not bad. This one I've had before. It's not bad. One other thing, here's the Crank Brothers F15 tool. I thought about that one, but I wanted a little bit more tool in here, and this was running $30. Yep, this is the M20. Why? Because I wanted the spoke wrench on here when I'm out and about. So this is pretty good. Now, as far as locks, I was looking, I didn't see any that were specifically on sale that I felt like were good enough for an e-bike. But there is a bike lock that I do recommend, and that's the one that is basically grinder proof. It's called the Hip Lock. It's not part of sale though. D1000, this is the one that I use. I can't use it around I cannot use this on my fat bike, unfortunately. For the most part, it's really difficult to get it around. You get a regular e-bike, this will work just fine, and it is not on sale. Of the stuff that is on sale though, there's some really good choices, just not in terms of locks. There's a kids folding lock bike. This is a mini light one, which I suppose you could use, but I would just spend a little bit more on it here. Varia RCT 715 has a built-in camera. That's why it's so expensive. I wouldn't recommend it though. I've seen the video quality of it. It's only okay. Think of it like a dash cam, but just facing out the back. But this is the first time that it's been on sale at $350. I'd recommend getting the one that is now on sale for $149. And that one is also Garmin Varia. At least it was recently on sale for $149. Here it is, $149.99. This is the sale price right now. You save 25%. And basically it's a radar. I talked about this in my last video actually. It's a nice bike radar. Let you know when a car is coming and let you know how far the car is away based on radar technology that also has a built-in light. And it's worthwhile just to get it with, you get a tail light and you get the radar all in one. So that's pretty decent. So that's that's basically what interested me the most about the bike sale were some of the bikes that were shown. There is one other one I was looking at, but for that, a lot of bikes have sold out, by the way. But there was this maybe if you're watching this, you can give me some sort of idea on what a decent road bike would be. For me, I'm 5'7" and some change, 5'8" on a good day. And I was looking at the Cannondale Synapse 105. This is 20% off. And this is the lowest price that you can get for this particular model of a bike. And it doesn't say what year it came out, but I do believe it was within the last few years. So it's relatively up to date. It has 22 gears on there, and it's got, more importantly, it's got the Shimano 105 group. And that's why it's called the 105, Synapse 105. So this makes it higher than a entry-level grade in terms of componentry, which is good. I don't want to get an entry-level road bike and then want to upgrade it later, because then it just costs more to, like, way more to do the upgrades, labor and replacement, all that jazz. Whereas I should just get one that I would probably want to upgrade in a year or so. So the Shimano 105 looks like it's pretty good. The thing that held me back about this one is that I couldn't find any specific reviews about this exact model of bike. And also, it is on clearance. So this price, I believe, will still be around after this bike sale's over. So that's why I'm just waiting up on this one. And if I can find one local REI, I definitely want to give it a test ride just to see what geometry works best for me, whether or not a 54 centimeter is the correct size for me, or I'm between a 48 and a 54, I'm guessing. I looked on Cannondale's website, and they actually have the Synapse 105. I believe this exact one for just a little bit more than this one. Yeah, so I was considering this one. So members can save an extra 25% on outlet bike clothing and gear with the coupons code OUTCYCLE. And this is off of the REI outlet page. So if you go to REI outlet, I'll have a link down below. Coupon eligible products. You will see this. It is only good through, of course, today only. You can get some nice clothing and some other accessories to get ready for your bike outing. And there's some pretty good stuff here. I got the rain jacket from here from REI Co-op. I'm going to go ahead and try it out when it gets here, and we'll see. This is something I would have liked to see in person, because I remember that I could feel the difference between the more expensive brands versus the REI one, but I figured in California it doesn't rain that much, and when it rains, I'm probably not going to be out riding too much. So I think the pricing was appropriate for me. As long as it does its job and keeps me dry, I think that could work out well for me. But I could see, I'm looking at here right now, and I think maybe they sold out. Yeah, maybe some of it has sold out. I'm not sure. All right, regardless, today is the last day. Check it out. Links down below for this. I am an REI affiliate. I love REI, and there's not a single bad thing that I can say about REI that I have experienced ever. Please use my link. Check out the sale. Let me know if you score something really good, or if you think there's something that I must try to do a review on. I'm still thinking about that City 2.2. There's not enough reviews on that bike, and I definitely tested it. I liked it. I would like to do a little bit more extensive about City 2.2 bike. All right, that's it for this video. Please leave a like, subscribe for more. Catch you next one.